Okay, so remove the sweet peppers. Got a couple of them off. Not too big at all, but the ones on the one that were here were firmer. These were a little soft, but I'll still see what's happening in there. I'm gonna cut them open. Looks like the white flies have jumped on the tomatoes as best they could. You can see them here. Infestations are not fun. Anyway, yeah, I figured I'll have to do some garlic spray thing sometime. Too much to do, too little time. Anyway, when not really too particularly interested in this, just want to see how far those buds get, see if anything starts to push out, and then I'll move those as well, clean up all of this, and start planning for another type of system. Perhaps the one that sprays onto the roots from below, or maybe rig up something to trickle down into the bin. I don't know, but that'll be for when I've got some more time to do stuff. Alright, so I promised we'd look at these cucumbers in the last video. That's that tree with. But first, broccoli doing nicely. And over here, I brought these guys downstairs since the white flies decided to try to jump on there, and I wanted one of them to be outside so the lizards could eat them, or whatever it is that keeps them from collecting on these plants. We saw a frog in there at one point. That's one thing that could be eating them, but there are plenty of lizards around, which is great. And I even saw a small brown one on this cucumber, the broccoli plant, or this one. I guess it was jumping around. Either way, there was an incident where the leaves started to get eaten. You can see over here, and then when I looked, I couldn't find any traces of the caterpillar, but I saw that lizard. So definitely a good thing to have in your garden. Lizards. Yes. Okay. Callaloo buds at the top. It should be bigger, but it got stunted. I'm told this should be about as big as that, really, and the leaves should be all over the place. Beans getting whipped up. I was advised that I had to plant more of them in bunches close together so that they would support each other as they grow. Now here we got the various spices and herb type stuffs. Okay. Smaller vines. This one much more tenderly. Don't know what's going on. This one has flowers and everything. And yet this guy over here does not. The only thing I can surmise is the aluminum that I've lined this with is somehow stunting the growth. Or something. I mean, otherwise it would have to be that the algae in here actually help somehow, contrary to what was said on the documents. I don't know what's going on, but this definitely looks better than this one. Anyway, right, monster twins are here, and they're looking as monstrous as ever. Got a flower on the end there. I gotta try and direct some more of these vines over this way. The cucumber, where was it? Right, let me get a shot from this angle. There we go. That was about a foot there when I checked, and this one is slightly smaller, but nonetheless significant, getting to a foot. And there's one over here coming out. smaller, but that will also supersize in a sec. And I don't know if you can see one up over there. Yeah, just barely. It started coming out a little curvy, but it looks like it's gonna straighten out. Otherwise, many smaller ones here just waiting to start growing as soon as I relieve the stress of growing the bigger ones. But I am curious to see just how big these can get. Let me give you a nice comparison here. Oh, there goes a lizard. That's yeah, okay. Perhaps a little, yeah, maybe a little less than a foot. My foot's a foot. Yeah. So it's still got about 2 more inches maybe to go. But still, a 10-inch cucumber is pretty wild. I don't really see them too often in the supermarket, if you know what I mean. Not where I live anyway. This guy is really not doing a good time at all. Everything is just looking like it's going downhill there. These ones over here seem to be following swiftly. Here the buds have not opened up. Everything's starting to do that brown, crispy thing like on the other plant. Yeah, definitely a case where hydroponics, no matter how badly done, as in my case, still went out over the garden going. I guess the tomato just has too many natural pests and is too prone to diseases, or whatever the case may be. So I shall consider my next batch of plants in the hydroponic garden to be tomatoes only. And we can do some experimentation with those. Gonna have to do it with sticks to prop them up though, as we saw earlier upstairs. They like to fall over by themselves. Alright, that's it for now. Yeah, nothing more to really talk about. I suppose I could draw attention here. I didn't mention that. This is actually a little bit bigger than the other three. We had one that was the same size that I got off the upstairs, and the rest is bigger than the rest of them. The others were about this size. So, despite this thing over here, this blemish, we're gonna let it go and see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Alright, last thing. Ha, sorry. I was gonna let this one keep going and demonstrate, maybe even prove to myself whether this breed does it, but if it'll just keep going up and then it'll bud at the top where the seeds will pop out, but it mostly won't really flower that foliate, whatever that word is. You won't see a bunch of leaves popping out really. You won't get any much bigger leaves. So you may as well pick it now unless you want the seeds, which I have plenty of, so not really necessary for me. Anyway, or no.